let's dive right into this explainer. Imagine for a second that we treated the human brain and our entire corporate environment exactly like a computer system that is just desperately screaming for a software update. If you or your high-ticket sales team have hit this invisible ceiling, look, the answer isn't just, hey, try harder. It's about actually popping the hood and looking at the underlying biological and corporate infrastructure that's secretly running the whole show.
To run this total system diagnostic, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the autopilot problem, transmuting rejection, the consultative transition, the 21-day habit track, and we'll wrap up with systemic alignment. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the 95% autopilot problem. First things first, we've got to turn our focus to the foundational hardware running the human operator. Because, you can't fix a glitch on your screen without understanding the motherboard, right?
Now check out this staggering reality check. By the time you hit age 35, an overwhelming 95% of your identity operates as this heavily memorized subconscious autopilot database. Just think about that for a second. Only 5% of your daily operational capacity is actually your conscious goals and intentions. So you're essentially fighting a massive tidal wave of your own heavily memorized history every single day. What this means is from the exact way you slap the snooze button on your alarm, all the way to those baseline sales scripts you rattle off at your desk, you are running on an unoptimized, factory-set biological operating system. Every morning, we tend to get out of bed on the exact same side, drink the exact same coffee, and commute the exact same way. And then, when you arrive at your desk, those identical triggers fire off the exact same thoughts and emotions. But somehow, we're secretly expecting a totally revolutionized sales output that day. It just doesn't compute. So, trying to force better external sales results without overriding this internal hardware, it's practically impossible. I mean, your 5% conscious mind desperately wants to go out and execute a massive premium close. But your 95% biological default, it's dragging along these memorized feelings of unworthiness, hesitation, and fear of rejection. To actually stop losing deals, you absolutely must intentionally generate thoughts and actions that are greater than your immediate environment. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, transmuting rejection. Because once you understand your biological operating system, you've got to prepare it to face the chaotic, and let's face it, often harsh realities of high-ticket sales. So in these high-stakes environments, we really have to ask, how exactly do elite operators process intense external friction? Like, when a prospect pushes back super aggressively, why is it that some executives completely crumble, while others seem just totally unaffected? Well, let's look at elite athletes for a second. When they're faced with a completely hostile crowd of thousands generating all this negative energy, the unoptimized rookie experiences an immediate spike in heart rate and shallow breathing. It's an internal system panic. But the elite operator, they've built an internal reality filter. They meticulously recode their brain to hear those hostile chants as supportive fuel. They are literally translating hostile input and intense pressure into calm, positive neurochemical signals. And this mindset shift right here is absolutely everything. Elite closers do not receive rejections. They merely receive requests for further data. When a high-ticket prospect throws a severe objection your way, you simply cannot perceive it as a personal failure. Instead, you isolate that objection with clinical precision. You're literally transmuting the friction of the word no into a totally solvable mechanical puzzle. All right, let's shift gears to Section 3, the consultative transition. With our internal hardware finally reprogrammed against all that external pressure, we now need to upload a new operational software for our actual external sales strategy. We absolutely have to shift away from being just a baseline transactional product pusher. Honestly, if you're relying on unoptimized feature dumping, you are practically begging the client to build a wall of systemic resistance right then and there. Instead, the goal is to become a premium trusted advisor, utilizing calculated human connection and highly structured operational loops, rather than just aggressively pushing a product. To do this, the true professional adopts a highly disciplined 6-step consultative loop to eliminate friction and maximize that pipeline velocity. Step 1 is meticulous pre-call data extraction. Step 2, establishing calculated human connection for instant credibility. Step 3 is the emotional diagnostic, really listening to understand. Step 4, delivering a tailored 3-pillar presentation using their exact terminology. Step 5, securing a binary yes or no commitment. No more languishing in administrative purgatory, right? And finally, Step 6, a deeply disciplined follow-up sequence.
Now, the absolute core of step 3 is creating what we call a psychological gap. You're not just doing a linear, boring fact-finding mission. You actually start high, discussing the prospect's ultimate future state goals, and then you strategically guide that diagnostic conversation downward into the painful reality of their current state struggles. The massive emotional contrast you create in that gap, that is exactly where your premium solution naturally belongs. Moving right along to section 4, the 21-day neural habit track. Look, transitioning your team to this advanced framework is not just some sudden administrative event. It's a rigorous biological process. Science asserts that it requires a minimum of 21 days for the human brain to actually grow new neurons and physically wire a new behavioral program into your operating system. If you've ever struggled to get your team or yourself to adopt a new CRM, well, this is exactly why. You are literally dismantling an obsolete execution pattern and forcing your biological circuitry to accept a new software update. During this rewiring timeline, you've got to remember the golden rule. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. But if you break the loop before that 21-day threshold, you immediately default straight back to factory settings. Day 1 is pure subconscious resistance. Your brain is basically screaming at you to maintain homeostasis. Around day 10, you're consciously pushing through the mechanics, actively visualizing successful execution. And if you survive the friction until day 21, boom, that new habit track finally solidifies into your new optimized operational baseline. And finally, section 5, systemic velocity alignment. Now we need to scale this individual reality outward. Because uploading this awesome new habit track only yields maximum efficiency if the larger corporate ecosystem is structurally aligned. A failure in an executive's external sales execution is, almost exclusively, the result of internal departmental friction. If you're tolerating a toxic environment where departments are isolated and hostile toward one another, the machine's output completely degrades. Elite environments, on the other hand, absolutely thrive on symmetrical alignment. It's about unity, profound cross-departmental collaboration, and deep mechanical respect. Management teams simply must engineer an ecosystem where the revenue generators and the fulfillment teams operate in total sync. We're talking about symmetrical alignment, where frontline data extraction smoothly interlocks with the back-end fulfillment apparatus without any unnecessary structural friction. When you eliminate that friction, your newly rewired sales mindset finally has the clear, paved runway it needs to achieve massive systemic velocity. As we wrap up this explainer and finish our system diagnostic, I want to leave you with a really crucial question. Stop blaming the economy, the leads, or some external market factor for your sales stagnation. Look inward for a second. Is it possible you are simply running unoptimized biological and corporate operating systems? The whole world has upgraded. The real question is, when are you going to initiate your own systemic software update? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I challenge you, start your 21-day reboot right now.